darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but
service na enya de a ye benya no UTV so nie
UTV for anka ye mpese ye be ye interview biaze ye start ye nyina mo na mo boy na ya me boa say bibia to disi emfanko sie ye indehia no wada ho ache tina chese se ye fa no na etumi eba besie no sisi adofo enyina ye ya bia pese yetumi ekosie no wada mo kire wo wache wa pre na ye da nyankopon ase ye da lawyers ase ye da judge no so ase so mo nyina etumi abiese akwan na mayen a yetumi di akosie ye bompa ese adofo no ommoae na bibia enkope emze abusuafo nyina wa obia ba ne ma no obia ba anka ba kokora omunyina ba kama tibra yete nyankopon ena ye da nase se wotumi bie kwa se ye nkosie kojofosi dade lumba na ne kra enwonto no indeze se ngofo ka to ye saman chocha minimze nyame beboa na ade be che no onye saman chocha biem bebi opeso okọ no oda no obekwa koda wa ma no wato no tie da twedi ampo nyankopon asepa any adofo amaba nyina sade American no mu UTV for mabo modern bebre debia ye niam ma ya abeko akire emo obi ate na de kan say adofo no ommoae sanse ade ayeye ya ho odin kwa entumi de eska sema odi ommoae ya de numbers bi atutudwa so obi peso donation no ntumi ma on fam moye esanse enkaniba baba no nya agro nanso so ekoye se we ko enitina ma bebre kwase emazo nanso so de nyame ahyeche no wahyeche na abasuse nti ezrom say the numbers bi betudwa omote yanka omomoye na omutumi endoneti bibi kakra bi emoye na yenso yentumi emfamwa yenema ne nyefe sansa niama bebre o wa ye pese ye beye nanso so bibinti excuse me bia na e bia konche se adofo na ba no omo buo yi no pa na electric park so e pese anwumre e koji eni no me ye ho adwuma ban yentumi hu afena mi wi amena me sisters mpayfo ane me brothers mpayfo ne ebusiano ye badwuno se ye be ma kwajo men because omzo di arewa ache ojofosu ye do no ti esa na arewudi apem the fan clubs ye do mu nyi we police fo wa nyagro bambo fo ye do ma se pa commander ye danase o man panyi ye ene nanano kachira mo so ye damase sasa bre
sana me no be wie no wona we arrangement so omo ehwe emu no na be burial service we are wo de hye be kwa akosie ebise nsuta ebise pa akoso omai
obo hye bi o wa hye sese mu we a ebise ye de abrechire ene be ena obi nso se ye de kraman obi nso se ye de muade ene begu e ono mo But Mokoya no, Mo said, Nebosha or Catria no. On the BabaYara kakra. But to me, the no one Zabian and Nimbasa. As Uren and Niman and Nimakama. So I say, I'm lazy in Catan and Nimano. Waka Achrato. Sanson, the air, Pepe. Omon Korea, you know, the Nipana down, Kojona down, that's already out to me. Ain't you know,
I know me better who sim. Shiremu, because only a bush. Obio say, hey, I daddy Lumba Quack, and Catan, and maybe I know, and Chiremu, or Chret to her, or catch Reobi.
Or Trotto, Kojodiana, or ye Bibia, or any will. Ain't you, or ye will no a man, and lawyers. The lawyers no kind. The man so I share Omono, Omokai, Ninuaba, as also a kind. Says Hano, and I say, I was not paying in there. Mempesa was shady and Abbas or Yard and Mebuso. The Oya and Rana in Tisa. Menu cause the Siano Obiacho on me and Mose or no, but was so unpaid. The menu dear Mekoya Bayame. And the Sians of the Ebago see and come. Besi and come, the washer wash and
Robin, I'm yes, and Suta and a park or so. And the infant I would the neck. And I wouldn't have Musiano here. Charles, mammy, Musi.
Charles, mammy, the TSC in Suta. Yes, here in an hour poor. Just a baby, I don't know who does. I say, Yakonia Nesso. Ayakonia Catsia. Ayakonia Cassia, Sansa, Yana Momodos, two Beria, Zadia Walker, Ukokwa, only a Koyichre, Yanka Krakana, almost the Brayan, only a Dana now, Ubia with the fee, Oye Kurasi, Penny a Coti Flopo, Popa as a crab, Rebemo. Tina, I maybe I go see no. The manner I can be. Eturia me phantom from him. And the baby almost now, you don't know, grand manager. Block. So, my no betting and you know. Now, baby, I didn't know.
That's how they push up and you wouldn't him that.
And so, make
because when I was a woman, yeah, a man and a mamma.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I burial service.
Baba, Mr. So we a media man, also. Why you question it? Said yes, I'm out to say, and comfort the Fruno Cosia from Betu. Yadikosia baby chrome. So people was sooner no Bobo Brawa, no baby at no way. And Intino, any idea matters, her man now. UTV and more, I saw and son, I'm your dear free. Oh, yes. Soft Baba, you Baba and come. Tell me I'm Tiakram, soft.
What do you push your penny? Won't mean
maybe I may. So be a man, may. Maybe too old, and never can go. Be all.
And Nekrakra after burial service and Tambena, a jam for near the 4 bits, Massaba.
More, ya per se. After we know, I have for a baby 12 o'clock, 12:30. Yes, I wouldn't see any apple.
Now, Wadaroma and Aquaria or China, saying our Summon City.
Or China Sunday, and also, no, no, as offer for no air. Sunday, no, Baba has or because the Cassia Cross already my uncle.
Now, sorry, Banacamoko. Ah, sorry, Banamoko. Oh, okay.
The others have put in Wabaye. I sorry, am I? A drew idea, and so young boy. A bedroom may change in Mamma. Now, you didn't have a 2 any as I come. Now, I could have one away. Now, for no, oh, Baba.
Because the last time Minutia court, you know, I told you I said, oh, fast in him. Me was as or more, and also about
Manaba on the rare and maybe aunt now. As you know, me, a free cry by and the man into a man, almost over. na omo ban na crowd no so na ese me kofa police for omo du omo chi ne ne ma na be crowd no etu ma sisi emu adwi omo ba be no omo te ya sisi a
se bibia da no kwa
oh bibia da no kwa se wa wo jimi di bibia da no kwa
ye be da se chire bibi ni ye be ba me
oh me da wase na me tra
ebusia panyi edema aye daddy lumba ena ye ne no etwetwe enkomo no na nahima baako e wa hanom menyanya ne din but me ne kasa menya ne din na nahima baby awuti de na chese wo ye busuani pa na nahima mpacho ye ma wo hyede ye ma wo ya
wadaruma medas
wo de ni die kwan so enza saka me busa wo mpacho wo ye hima wo he wadarum
dadia
oh mpacho ye die mu ankasa na ima wadaroma yese edin kra na ejimfosi ekutem ene mo amode hye wo hwe otu ani hwe ba bia ha nyina ye ma wo ba yese na wusi husi ne amanfo osi bu amoyi
ade di kan ye de aseda me ma twedi ampo wona timi ade nyina ye na de to so aseda nkoma yewu na asante hene ne pe na sabre meti wo sada de so aba him de betima ka say because me kra no pay na me nya no Facebook se me nana ma de nyina me wura chichefo ojofos ena ne de ne tumpo because no ye hu se enya possible jano pay Facebook na me nya ho message beba so ne sa abrewa media me ba behwe ye nyina da dirumba nanim usa me de ba wona fufu bi ani
na obaye ohun Ghana fo akire do ye na o ka akire
oh de me kan say o ma ya de said that o say me hu no TikTok me hu say ye ni beba so na because no bi ani say emma so eti de di kan Ghana fo nyame hire obi biara otimi bae do antimi am obi wakọ pese obabat because of eno anansi ye ninti no obi anim se bebanti kakra no omo aba no ye kan say 100% ye do obi biara se
na ima ba jodi ni efe
me de nana adusi ahwene dade so abahema kumase
be da se ba yenim se nana be ba ho
eya me ba
in silence but in power, rest in darkness but in rest not in darkness, in silence but in power, rest in darkness but in rest not in darkness, in silence but in power, rest in darkness but in rest not in darkness, in silence but in power, rest in darkness but in rest not in darkness.
Oh pia obeka owo tribute pa wobeka because lumba yeni nua pa ko pe oma bonyum together oma stay efie kra together oma ye bibia together ena ene owo atete womo entem enti eno ena ekoso eye ahanom where a live coverage and there's a champon and a champon and a etio so nene hu kani and a etio nomono and the empenyifo kakra omo ababe piem anom omo obe paying the last respect e di ama onu ani nua a won ne etra edan baakum e wo Germany a oma bonyum oma ye partners ache a enede oba ha no nya de ani nua ofre na obeti nana e champon asem na mekan ono so aba bepie mu e wa hanom enese champon nana e champon so nana champon asignal e bia nche bia ne betwetwe enkomo Honorable Collins so so mankwa eso ewo days ni so a wototo eniema and here. The likes of Operations Commander, Mr. Kodia to Tuniama Wahanum, Oba Ashanti region, also Operations Commander.
In silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power.
And you see, we money did better. Lumba, Daddy Lumba, Wemu, and I had it, and you never better. And he, and no, and I also, I was a hanum. And no, arrangement. We and a omode, Daddy Lumba, and Muno, Ebeto, Onum. Yes, Doctor Kwame, that's fine. Bababe PMO Wahanum, Bababe Drew Hanum. I was in the last respect of Papa Hero. Dr. Ernest Oforisapon, Dr. Kwame Despite, United Television, a Yampacho, a Yanedia, and T. Wababe PMO, Ewa Hanoma, almost so, Etimi Ashano, Omo last respect, Omo Ejina Onoma, Omo Eshe, Daddy Lumba, and Tiano, and Ekoso, Ewa Hanum, East Legon, Executive Keep Club, and no. Yes. Ayadia. Dr. Ose Kwame, that's why they drew honor. Out of respect. I'm a Dr. Ose Kwame, that's why. And see, I know the Omu ye free, so I'm a Omo etimi ashe. Now, you said that the Lumba, Ninum to Omuno. Ope Obia. When Daddy Lumba, so ye, Juba Chepa, not Doctor. Dr. Ose Kwame, that's why. Ekaho. Musicians are or produce Omunano. Ayadia or no Lumba at the Mufia. Yes. And there's a champon. Nane champon. A Baba Bo and Yum. Or Baba Bo and Yum. Ediama Ninuia. Ayadadi Lumba. And Sana or more at my burial service. No. And no, and echo Suhanum. Dr. Kwame Despard, Dr. Ernest Oforisapon, and Nini Mianum. Omunina Ewa Hanum. And you know, Sanatia, Dr. Oforisapon, Dr. Kwame Despard, and Tisa and Etia Ewa Hanum. A live coverage, Yankasa, your president, your founder, your BBR. Or no, and a D and him. Ya, Juma Hangina, a yo no nada Roma, and a yetimi Ababe PMO, Ewo Ahanum. A ye Yankasa, your director, the president of Despite Group of Companies, Dr. Kwame Despite, Wababe Drew Ahanum. Ah, Wababe Chachia. And was that Dr. Kwame Despite, Wababe Sony Mia, a ye and as a champon, ah, watch channel. Me ati se nchebia ene se champion beko akopɔ enwum baako ansana womo atimi ahye burial service na ase ntia no ene ekoso Dr. Ernest Oforisapon so ewo hanom na sinemzika na UTV United Television eka eye Despite Group of Companies no ho asesia your president, the owner, the founder of Despite Group of Companies, Dr. Ernest Oforisapon, Dr. Kwame Despite Omunina Ababe Transia, Bibia Ekoso, Ewo, Eye, Ahanum. And you know, at appropriate time, I say, Dr. Ernest Oforisapon bet me at your drink komo kakra, and sana, yet me. Eti, no, ena Ekoso, Ewo, Eye, Ahanum, Egusua, Yewahanum. We, the final rite of the late Charles Kojofosu, aka Daddy Lumba. And no, and I echo so a year Heroes Park, BabaYara Sports Stadium, and no, and I echo so a year Ahanum, Yegusua Yawahanum, Abibia echo so a year.
In silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest.
The showstopper can't move his body. The man whose smile melted the hearts of million ladies can't have his teeth shown. We have gathered here with one motive, to celebrate you and what you stood for. Fantasy wasn't the only benefactor of your charm, aura, and unmatched musical talents, but every lover of music and her life as a journey. Amesama wakumapa, something that others also benefited from. Through you, many musicians had their breakthrough and career played on the right way to success. Wudi akunkojo nanso sahene wadi akuato. Atamfuni yampo na waboshire. Areho ne osun ene adwajo na ato fantasy man ene Ghana man. Through your music, we have mended our broken relationships, found love, and had reasons never to give up and mourned the departed. But we celebrate you today. Since 29th September 2019, which coincided with your 55th birthday, we have been in contact with you and deep thoughts and teachings urge us to be the very best we can be. Our last face-to-face meeting with you on 10th August 2024 will be edged in the golden books of fantasy till the baton is passed to generations unborn. You gave us life-related advices, and that day cemented our thoughts on why your lyrics cut deep and resonate with humanity to the level it does. You were an embodiment of life and living it. We always moved and worked towards some of the advices you gave us, such as Fantasy 4, you can do things that children will benefit from and impact on society. Never shy away from giving and never feel pain in giving. Papa, we are sure we did that in your honor and will continue to do as you watch over us from above. Daddy, your light is dimmed today. Your lips closed for eternity. What is left is your legacies and memories, which is unblemished and undeniable. You charge us to make sure your legacies are not buried with you. We at Fantasy Club of DL has blazed your torch and led your fan base with meaningful societal interventions and promise to keep the torch lightning high and the gun blazing for the DL brand. We will continue to touch lives positively. The world celebrates you today. Ghana celebrates you. Your family celebrates you. Your colleagues are celebrating you. Your fans will continue to celebrate you. We won't grieve for long. We are in Obe to me. Omra Sunti. Wakraye if we say Obia Nkwati Ada Katia. Okra Fosu Ekoneja ho. Such anybody else, Amisa Bako Jofosu. Ghana Manina Dadilumba. Dom Pemini Kojofotu. Fantasy for say Wahin Chini. Thank you.
Sarakatema Nipa Okasa Ama Fantasy Club of Dadilumba Nidin Yao Sanogo Warieno Mumiafa Kumapani Odo Enfanshia Ancha Odobroni Babamunya Botre Na meka mo say Chairman Asie Dunketia Ewaha. One of the most intelligent, vibrant, and vision-oriented ministers, Dr. Frank Amwakwe. Yes, and a champion, Nana Akwesi, or a chairman, National Democratic Congress, NDC, die-hard fan club of Dadilumba. Now, almost Emma Omo tribute. Die-hard fan club of Dadilumba. Omoy, Mama Moho Anyashi. Aha. Me pacho bibri. And if you are where His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the incomparable chairman Asiadu Inketia, Dr. Frank Amuakwini, Nana Kwasini NDC executives His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say, Nyamiya Aduma area yebehunu waha. Na any obrasiemo open the most attractive brand in Ghana. Now one more NDC dia. Net is en wako Pentecost awudi madansi die. Open party a say si Ghana for agio matumu padia. Na Ghana for slese John Mahama ensa ko for temwa. John Mahama oko for temwa. There is nothing called subjective and objective truth. The truth does not need crutches if it claims it's a lie. The truth is always an offense but not a shame. Usha ejuma oba. Single digit inflation. Where the way dollar for more. Enyemi na mika o. Enyemi na mika o. Any obrasiemo. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, what is smart chairman of Seru Ketani Dr. Frank Amuakwini, was say I will pay you to back. And still should have been Kabushapa Kapatangu from President Mahama Sokutanism on it Johnson Seru Ketia and a Dr. Frank Amuakwini 500 million. Almost almost 50,000. Almost almost and in the area Uber President Muninawaha. Kenya Japan ko ni be Omutu mame Campo Travel and Tours, one of the most reliable authentic travel and tours in Ghana. Me patro ni dia ni abrasema Campo na odene ball no no wa ba be juru Campo na eba no Campo Travel and Tours nyamisha no nya ne kase ani dia ani abrasema Mauru say Ayisu Ayabode Ewa Ana Mamia me champon that room the born no so abedru Jemu Ediama one of the finest, one of the make us say open club papa join here now wa mo mudi anesenia wa konzima wa hunukube Die Hard fan club of that lumba omuso amomu tribute
Die Hard and celebrate with both broken heart and underlying love. The passing away of our legend, Charles Kwejo Fosu alias Daddy Lumba. From the day the Die Hard Fan Club of Lumba was formed in 2016, we pledged to promote and preserve your legacy. We honored your voice, your music, and the hope you gave to so many. Through charity work, community outreach, and by sustaining your songs across generations, we committed ourselves to ensuring the world never forget what you represented. You were more than a musician with over 30 albums to your name. You gave Ghana and the world a soundtrack of love, resilience, heartbreak, triumph, and truth. Your voice transcended borders. Your lyrics resonated in humble homes and grand hall alike. You were not just versatile, you were timeless. Your songs had the power to make us dance, to heal, to cry, to dream. For every occasion, joy, sorrow, celebration, or reflection, there was a Daddy Lumba song. More than that, you accepted us as your fans wholeheartedly. You gave approval to our club, caring for your welfare as a family. We stood by you through every rise and every success, every challenge. That remains the best moment for all of us as your fans. Little did we know you were going to leave us soon, Daddy. Your passing away on 26 July 2025 sent shock across Ghana and beyond. But even as we grieve, we vow this: the Die Hard Fan Club of Daddy Lumba will carry your torch forward. We will keep promoting your music, sharing your stories, and living by the values your songs taught us. We will honor you through acts of kindness, community work, and by making sure your name, Daddy Lumba, remains forever alive in the hearts and minds. You gave us more than songs. For some of us, your songs were crafted with food for thought of words, of motivation that serve as catalyst in transforming our lives into who we are today. You gave us identity. You gave us memories from every fan, every listener, and every voice your music touched. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you for everything. Your legacy is immortal. Your flame will never fade. Rest in power, Daddy. Thank you.
Ohiniba media nyame nhyira na onye okese wate ai ohiniba media na no atepa oye heavy nyame nhyira ene de ni abrase mu aye ntwentwen so kra Honorable Collins osu amankwa panyini nyame nhyira wate na onye okese ni pede enso yenwene nam Dr. Nana E.T. Akono ono ana the incomparable, the greatest of all time, that Lumba edene ball and you know me pacho se owa ha o man honya shina omra ha mame. Yes, ansana emano any ebusuani nyina abeto aso. Onya my dear House of DL. House of DL. House of DL. Mama honya shi House of DL. Mama honya shina momra. Honorable Collins also amankwa onyame shira no papa. Ne papa ne the first man odikako Israel e wa Ashanti region. Ne friend o Banas e wo yenya so. He is from a family of well-educated and accomplished professionals. I salute this man, the great Collins Osu Amankwa. Yes, your unshakable achievement is beyond human's comprehension. Truly an honor to know man of your distinguished reputation. And what thing? Make up professor. A papa bijina was akwawe or tibrofu bruta. I yes and another danko akufado no. Nanado danko akufado bekumasi abrofo beken na yente. Over to free researchers, free research available, free researchers. Ushia obia te ushia obia ko rally ni bi okumas na bizan se okwa de na akufado ka otmasa jai akwa no tebrofo House of DL
House of DL.
That's all homobia.
House of DL.
And it does so homobia.
House of DL.
And it does so homobia.
There are men whose lives pass softly like a whisper. And then there are those whose lives erupt like thunder, leaving footprints on the soul of a nation. Daddy Lumba was the latter, a phenomenon, a force, a flame that refused to dim. To us, the House of Daddy Lumba fan club, he was more than an artist. He was our compass, our storyteller, the poet who translated our deepest emotions into songs. His voice became the river that carried us. His melodies, the bridge that held us. His legacy, the light that continues to guide us. Daddy Lumba sang of love like who had lived many lifetimes. He sang of pain with the honesty of a man who had tasted life's storm. He sang of hope with conviction of a spirit that refused to break. Through his lyrics, we learned how to feel. Through his journey, we learned how to rise again. He was a pillar of artistry, fearless, timeless, unmatched. In every home, in every heart, in every corner of Ghana and beyond, his music became a companion, a healer, a comforter, a celebration. From grand stages to quiet rooms, his presence glowed, warm, bold, unforgettable. A light that did not just shine, it shaped destinies. Today, that earthly light has dimmed, but its brilliance remains eternal. It lives in the echoes of his song, his wisdom, and in the family he unknowingly built House of DL. We mourn a giant, but we also celebrate a life masterfully lived, a legacy that will outlive time, and a spirit that will forever breathe through generations. Legends do not fade. They become eternal echoes. They become the song the world never stops singing. And so we say, rest in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, but in glory. Your roots grow deep within us. Your branches stretch across generations, and your spirit will forever remain the heartbeat of the house of Dadilumba. Thank you.
Thank you.
House of DL. Monto nyumbe 1 second. Amonko monto nyumbe 1 second. And it does all mobi atora me.
Ehiawe wo miniaba. Ehiawe wo katachie. Obi afari de antumi wo se.
In silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest not in darkness, in silence, but in power. Rest in darkness, but in rest.
Onyeba no atrasi amame. Obaba stays in Yamishra ohofe oye guy. I need the mon line up kama. Dad Lumba ne ma enie. Mi chai ma kirimu di ama omo na omo ridi omo papa. Omo papa, it is an inescapable fact. It is an undeniable fact. It is an established fact. Say the papa and the greatest of all time. Mama sound near you, mamma. Mama sound near you, mamma. No, sorry, me pamucho. Oh, Penina, oh, Congress, I was much than the Musoro. Mummy, you say, me patcho, Mummy, no anyway. Nanimuna was so much than the one. Aha. Mumbiamu, man, me pamucho, what Miss Ramwati. Oh, Mumbai, you need free. Oh, that Lumba don't Mumbiamu. Aha, send your bear, Michael, but I'm opening Brawanimukakra. Aha. Yes, very handsome guy.
Dear Dad, today we speak to you with love, gratitude, and deep longing. Since you left us, so much has changed, and yet you remain close to us in a way that words can hardly describe. You are more than just a father. You were our strength, our comfort, our laughter. You showed us what it means to stand together, to never give up, and to embrace life and an open heart. Each of us carries a part of you within us. Your warmth, your generosity, and we carry the memories you gave us. Small moments that have become big now because the help guide us through our grief. We miss your voice, hugs, your way of calming us even when everything feels heavy. But we know this. Your heart continues to beat within ours. The traces you left in our lives will remain forever. Dad, we thank you for every smile, every piece of advice, every second we were blessed to share with you. We love you today, tomorrow, and always. With all our love, your kids. Yadamu asibebre. Yadamu asibebre. Yadamu asibebre.
Father, your passing has created a silence that words cannot fully describe. Yet the echo of your presence speaks louder than ever. Your life showed me that gifts are not accidents. Every song, every story, every individual you've inspired carries a piece of you forward. And in that continuity, I find comfort. Father, you lived a life that was both a testimony and a message, a reminder that true artistry is a calling, measured not in noise or applause, but in heart. You taught me that greatness is found in courage, the courage to express yourself, the courage to fearlessly trust in the power of one's own voice. I'm proud to bear your name. I'm honored to continue your story. We are grateful beyond measure for you, Father, for the privilege of having been loved by you in ways only you could. May your legacy continue to rise, inspire, and bless generations yet to come. For truth belongs to time, and time will honor you. Legends never die.
My father was an extraordinary man, was an extraordinary human being. He lived with an intensity that many heard in his music but few truly understood. His spirit, discipline, complexity, and brilliance, rooted in both his nature and his experiences, gave depth to human he became. He carried a gift so vast that it rose beyond the quiet edges of where his story began. Long before life gave him the room to rise. Behind every lyric was meaning, the weight of lived experience and the quiet resilience that defined his life, shaping the way he rose above circumstances and carried both triumph and sorrow with his grace. The world only saw fragments of the man I knew. I saw the father he was to me, attentive, protective, playful, and wise. I saw his gentleness, how he listened, observed, and understood without judgment. I saw his wit, quiet in his mischief, unmistakably his. I witnessed his private battles and his love for those he held close. I saw how much he carried, how much he overcame, and how much he still chose to give. His presence shaped my early moments, and his lessons will continue to guide my life. My dad, you lived a life that was both a testimony and a message, a reminder that true artistry is calling, measured not in your noise or upload, but in heart. You taught me that greatness is found in the courage to express oneself authentically, fearlessly, and to trust in the power of one's own voice. I'm proud to bear your name. I am honored to continue your story, and I am grateful beyond measures for the privilege of having been loved by you in ways only you could love. May your legacy continue to rise, inspire, and bless generations yet to come. For truth belongs to time, and time will honor you. Rest well, Papa. May the mercy be brave.
What's what the Masidian? What the Masidian? Nyamisha mama mene emra na dad lumbati aseno. O ka so de baba bi be maware. Etimi pacho so nim se o kan wa ha o wi ahome mesre o. Mimpese da ekane wo no me pacho ekane wo no. Ekane wo no. Mama me no mu ntwa picture ba ko mu ntwa me bloggers no. Enkolo ma tena boji so mu probia na fusu. Maya Slemen Cosma Swati Wati. nyame nhyira mo omo betimi atena se. God richly bless you. I pray the good Lord guide and protect you, and may you live to see your great grandchildren. What stop your parent can never stop you. When nyame nhyira mo no nkoso emmo mo ho ban. Anything that has been demonically engineered, any satanic mass, demonic altar against your life, ye chomo Yesu Kristo dimo, ye chomo Yesu dimo, ye chomo Yesu dimo. Adie bia Yesu otumfo Nyankopon de ma the greater lumba. When you know the man about to us. So hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Abrantie also one of the finest bloggers. Yami Shramo. I did hear any of Brasiemwa. Yabatu Yansa at your friend DLFM 106.9. Obapa, me pacho, aha, that lumba the workers no, and it didn't. Queen's Silver Lady Oniana, Silver Lady, Oman FM. Hey, mommy, sound officer. God must spend extra time more than you. Then maybe you know I'm quite very young. CC no. Oba na ho for beast immune system. Everybody nyankopon. Mommy, bra, wedding. I didn't know we. Apart from Amsterdam, you nyame asa bia mani. Mommy, tie, enfansere. I didn't know we. Jesus Christ. Mommy, tie. Mommy, Silver Lady. Sumu yasma who say contented wechi. We are the mechi come hotel room ho. Nam in the fried rice ma.
Let us say every year that must be and pay yesiemu wa haseya na eyedwuma ye 4 e de ma ye papa odampem enne the late Charles Kojokwab Nafosu Daddy Lumba DLFM ene Lumba Nsupa ena yakabo mo ene ye de tribute ye de aba. Today we stand with heavy hearts to honor a man whose vision, passion, and leadership shaped the very foundation of DLFM. Our late CEO, Charles Kojofosu Dadilumba, was more than an executive. He was a mentor, our inspiration, and the heartbeat of this great family. Muhuyen waha, yenye jumaya fokeke, ye daddy ebusia. He taught us that excellence is not an option, but a lifestyle. That service to our listeners is a privilege, and that every voice behind the microphone carries the power to uplift a nation. That the Lumba believed deeply in creativity, unity, and purpose. And he nurtured talents across DLFM with love and confidence. His presence filled every corner of our station, DLFM 106.9. His words motivated us because each and every one of us here can testify that call biya daddy beye biya wan se wunkranya na otufo. Today, DLFM stands with Lumba Nsupa strong because he built more than a radio station. He built a family. Bismarck, Nanajwa Silky, Nana, Kojo Inshraba Samabi, Ajwa AJ Sikapa, and Mabna. Though he is no longer with us physically, his legacy echoes through every program, every broadcast, every life he touched on earth. We promise, Daddy, we promise. Yes, Shelbo, to carry forward your dream, to uphold your values, and to keep the light you ignited burning brightly. Rest well, Daddy. Rest well, our boss. Rest well, our mentor.
our forever daddy. Your voice may be silent, but your impact will speak forever. Nantiye, die.
Yada muhina se. Owe tuye dun sing. Mama ye fuafu asa. Amansa ebusua bebrebe. Yankwa ye de na ejademu. Ye dwanto agana fo nyina ne wiase afan na nyina mu nipa se. Ewusia foforo ne yen Timonsuma ye da monse.
Monkafra, wate? Monkafra. Me pacho as this year ni wa mo me fa mame. DL workers no me pacho mo me fa mame. And ni an obrasiem a why? Me pacho any die any an obrasiem a. Kofi Frimpong. Now the great Dad Lumba wa obedi bia no tabo ni di oko New Jersey, United States of America. Ne ho anaya okoda. Any die any an obrasiem a. Also kuta the same titiscano 5 million. And they kind of 500 Ghana. See a bush paying to pack so. Nebin Kabushan and Fanka Patangu for no person can be 30 seconds.
DL forever. DL. My Baba me crew with the Mekachi, Menyana Brofusem. Mekai say na Emra Michael Jackson woo ye. Number 2 kwan na me na me kwan so. And I'm an for be frame. So what is a Michael woo? And who is the next Michael? And I told them, said, there's no doubt, say, Lumba to pass Michael Jackson. It became a big banter argument. But more all over the world. So you can see the Daddy Lumba, ne Lewis, not Jine, our dear Bonyom, near the 2 more in the worldwide platform. Daddy Lumba is by far ahead. But one thing I meet me I can say, Bob Marley a woo, but still a woo. Michael Jackson a woo. We have great musician a mobile woo ko mungu. But meaning say between you and I, more we are singing. Daddy lives forever. Thank you everybody for your love and everything. We love you all.
Nana from Pong, I have my number. Ukwabucha send me. That lumbe no formation Hawaii. Nyami shapa. Me pamochao ya mami odobroni eba a police for mo fanem ramame. A police for now obia wajira bushane ni mbia obia nyini. Obia wajira bushane ni mbia obia answering free ho. Ujira bushane ni ma police for munyi omunyi free ho. A police for no mumia kwa mu na oba pa odobroni emra. Mesramu ani dia dia obrasemu a. Mumia kwa nim ni etosu bia mu a ujira bushane ni mbia free ho maye. Ni etosu mi ensa won so abode a adisiedia bomodi akobe bi aka bank for no me pacho the most authentic reliable bank in Ghana. Nyami enshom na onye omokase ani de ani ahobrasiem a Dr. Nana E.T. Akono that lumba de ne bonu mo wan ani de ani oma na onye shansa na odobroni eduru a me pacho wan Dr. E.T. Akono ai nipa densuawe ne nam Dr. E.T. Akono ma na onye hye mumia kwan na okunafo ne mra ma mi kunafo ne mra
in silence but in power, rest in darkness but in rest not in darkness, in silence but in power, rest in darkness but in rest not in darkness, in silence but in power, rest in darkness.
Ewurade Nyankopon oba woti be mase no obra ne ho ase no ye guy kumasi ni beka so ye de ai ani de ni ahobrasem o me fa kumapa ne odo enfa nhia the incomparable, the one and the odo promi na on my tribute me chema mo Heba Media yo bravo nimka
Assim.
Ago!
Yasramo abusia panyini to park epeso wote na se enka enkra edie ti yasramo amama na yinti no.
Tributes by Mrs. Priscilla Abenata Fosu Odobroni. To my husband Charles Kwejo Fosu, my king, my protector. If your spirit still walks among us, then let the truth itself rise as our vengeance. Let the love we shared be the fire that consumes falsehood. Let the dignity with which you held me, the honor with which you lifted me, and the peace you gave me stand as testimony against every cruel tongue. I will not bow to their malice. I will not let their venom stain the memory of what we were. You treated me like a queen. You gave me a family. You gave me joy. That truth is eternal, and it will outlive every lie. So let them speak, let them try, for I know the Lion King still reigns in spirit, and his roar will forever protect the love we shared. And though they seek to wound me, they cannot erase the truth that I was your joy, your peace, your chosen resting place. My husband, my king, though you are gone from this world, you remain etched in my protect your name and honor the truth of our bond. You were my joy, my peace, my protector, and though I walk alone now, I will walk with the memory of your love, which no lie, no attack, no cruelty can ever erase. I am grateful for the love that we shared and our 6 beautiful blessings. I know they will forever miss you. Charles Amesa Ohima Fosu Awoya Katachie Jemfi and your twin Charles Kwejo Fosu Jr. Rest, my Lion King. Rest knowing that your Odobroni will never let your story be forgotten. And as Junior's birthday forever intertwines with your farewell, let it be the reminder that your children will rise, your legacy will endure, and your role will never die. Rest in peace, my love.
Fantastic. I need any of Brasemwa. Me pamocho, baby ayedruno. Oba kunafo, Odobroni. Aha, me pamocho. Oba kwa koreni kunu for the last time. Na ansani ama emunoso. Mesre, uye nyami ni pana waha. Me pacho bra. Baby ayedida the greatest of all time. That the lumbano. Nyami ni pebia